In the 3rd century, when pagan worship still dominated public life in the Roman Empire, God chose a missionary bishop to bring the gospel to southern Gaul, Saint Saturninus of Toulouse, also known as Saint Sernin. Tradition holds that he was originally from the region of Patras in Greece and was sent from Rome as one of several bishops commissioned by Pope Fabian to evangelize Gaul. Arriving in Toulouse, Saturninus became the first bishop of the city. There, he preached Christ boldly to a people attached to their traditional gods and sacrifices. He gathered a small Christian community and celebrated the Eucharist in a modest church near the civic center, quietly building up the body of Christ in a hostile environment. To reach his church, he had to pass by the capital, the main pagan temple. According to ancient accounts, the pagan priests grew furious because their oracles had fallen silent and the number of worshippers was declining. They blamed Saturninus and his preaching. One day, as he passed the capital, the priests and a crowd seized him. They demanded that he offer a sacrifice to the idols to appease the gods. Saturninus calmly refused, professing faith in the one true God and in Jesus Christ, whom he had been sent to proclaim. His refusal enraged the crowd. A cruel sentence was then pronounced. Saturninus was tied by his feet to a wild bull, an animal chosen for sacrifice. The bull was driven down the steep streets of Toulouse, dragging the bishop along the stones and steps until the rope broke and he died from his injuries. 2 Christian women, remembered in tradition as the Puelles, secretly recovered his broken body and buried him with reverence in a deep pit so that the pagans could not desecrate his remains. Over time, a small oratory was built over his grave, and later a large church, the beginning of what is now the Basilica of Saint-Sernin, a masterpiece of Romanesque architecture and an important stop on the Camino to Santiago de Compostela. Saint Saturninus came to be honored as the apostle to the Gauls and the patron saint of Toulouse. His martyrdom, so closely tied to the image of the bull, is still remembered in the Rue du Tour, the Street of the Bull, and in the art and memory of the city. Today his life speaks powerfully to Christians who face pressure to compromise their faith. Saturninus reminds us that the gospel is not always welcomed, and that fidelity to Christ can involve real risk. Yet his courage was not harsh or arrogant, it was the quiet strength of a shepherd who loved his flock more than his own safety. Through the intercession of Saint Saturninus, we ask for the grace to remain faithful witnesses in our own time, steadfast in charity, courageous in truth, and confident that no suffering endured for Christ is ever in vain.